Torpedo bats are coming to the Dodgers. Can they hit 8 billion home runs this season with them? Maybe. This is the Sick Podcast, the Dodger Zone. My name's Ryan Bershinger. She's Monse Bolaños. He's Beau Benson. Let's get into it.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to the Sick Podcast. The Dodger Zone.
Cortez delivers. Freeman hits the ball to right field. She is gone! Gibby, meet Freddie. Game 1 of the World Series.
The sickest LA Dodgers podcast.
Fernando Valenzuela has pitched a no-hitter. If you have a sombrero, throw it to the sky.
Start the party, Los Angeles. Your Dodgers have won the World Series.
It's gonna be sick.
So guys, we'll start with the torpedo bats, but first let me.
Who's number 11 on the Yankees? Is it Dominguez?
I don't know.
Well, they just hit a home run, so if they're using a torpedo bat, they should be killed.
Oh, let's find out.
That's my official stance on torpedo bats before we even say anything.
Listen, we're gonna talk Roki Sasaki, and just a disclaimer as we start. We're recording this prior to the Tuesday evening game between the Dodgers and the Braves. So as of right now, the Dodgers are still undefeated, 6-0, still the most wins in baseball. If they get a loss tonight, hey, whatever. They'd still have the best record in the league, but we'll keep it rolling.
It's Anthony Volpe who has 11.
He definitely does.
Yeah.
He's been one of the banner members of the torpedo bat movement.
Lifetime ban.
Why? I don't have a problem with it. I'm surprised it took someone that long to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like when I saw what they did, whenever I played slow pitch softball, I felt like I always whiffed the ball in that spot. Now I wish I would have had that damn bat every time I played slow pitch softball, because I wouldn't have been whiffing as much.
What we need, they need to bring the composite bats, which is what we used in Little League growing up, is the aluminum bats that were technically like two pieces. They'd have like a piece of rubber in the middle, so there's kind of a snap that comes through and really drills the ball. Let them have aluminum bats. Screw it. Like honestly, let's bring in aluminum bats while we're at it.
I don't really care. I just think it's kind of bush league to give hitters an advantage, but you also tell pitchers that they can't have any advantage whatsoever.
I mean, you're not wrong about that, but that has been the way the league has kind of been going the last couple of years. They want the scoring, which is like, they think that's what the fans want, the excitement and like the scoring. But it's like, let me tell you, I didn't mind a 1-0 game. I didn't mind a 2-0 game. Like,
it's funny.
Yeah.
Those 1-0 games went faster.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't need the pitch clock and everything if you didn't make all those changes. But Rob Manfred's in MLB, everybody.
Yeah,
I will say that obviously people like us and diehard fans are going to watch any game, whether it's 10-9 or 1-0.
Yeah.
And we will find joy in all kinds of games like that. But I do think casual fans are very much excited at this prospect of having these random games where scoring is just crazy like this. You have the Cubs scored 18 on the A's last night.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, playing in a minor league stadium. So
yeah, I mean,
it's hard to
like, how many offensive records you think are gonna get set playing the A's this year in Sacramento? Do the Dodgers go up there?
Oh, I don't know.
Ohtani might hit like 9 home runs in that series.
And those tickets, because you can only put 14,000 people into that stadium.
Yeah,
those tickets are gonna go for hundreds, even for the worst seats, because there's so few seats. I think it is. As we found out yesterday, Covino and Rich had a game where the answer was revealed. The top median price for a ticket this season is the A's, because there's so few seats in that stadium.
Yeah,
so it's the most expensive ticket in the league.
And no, we do not. We play Oakland in Los Angeles because they're too scared.
Well,
yeah.
Not Oakland, but we play whatever.
That's right, the Athletics,
the baseball club formerly known as the Oakland Athletics. No, but I mean, speaking of A's, they also have a Max Muncy. Max Muncy, Max Muncy has a torpedo bat coming on Wednesday. I believe Kike Hernandez was also somebody who had ordered them. A handful of Dodgers have looked into it. People across the league are looking into ordering them. And yes, I agree with Monty. I think it's great. Like, why not? They're completely legal. Major League Baseball seems to be excited at the prospect over it. And honestly, as I mentioned, in terms of the casual audience tuning in more, every national sports talk show has been talking about this for the last few days. And it really shows that overall baseball is in a great spot at the moment. I think coming off of the way last year went, having stars in LA and in New York really does make a difference. Having these big market teams be as significant as they are. And then you have offense going up like crazy. Ellie De La Cruz, who probably hit 2 home runs because he's Ellie De La Cruz, but I'm sure that the torpedo bat helped him a little bit.
That was so funny.
So he had a huge night. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Aaron Judge hitting 4 home runs, and people be like, "Well, it's that torpedo bat."
But he's not using the bat.
He's not.
But he's not using it. I know. That's what annoys me more than anything is people are going to act like, "Oh, look at the Yankees hitting all these home runs because of the torpedo bat." Like, A, they're the Yankees. That's the only thing they know how to do. And B, like, yeah, it's not everybody.
No,
like it's 2 guys on the team.
Yeah, I actually think it's great that Aaron Judge hit those 4 homers in 2 games without using the bat, because it's just like, it's going to show, it's like not everybody needs this bat. It's just like, if you do tend to make contact a little lower on the barrel, why not put more of the wood there, more of the bat? Like, I just understand how it took this long for someone to do that. That's literally, those are my questions. Why now? Why did this take so long?
Yeah,
I don't get it.
I completely agree, because it feels so simple and so obvious, and it took 150 years. What happened?
I think that maybe Major League Baseball should table these until the off season, and then look at them. It's just jarring to have it like pop up now,
but
pitchers have no chance to adjust.
I did read
I don't know.
that the Yankees and maybe another team or whatever had used them like during spring training, right? Like it wasn't just out of nowhere. It is out of nowhere. It feels like for, the regular season, but apparently like they had been trying it out here and there, a couple of people, but it is both. I think you're opening up something bigger where it's like literally giving hitters everything they can to hit a ball and yet making it harder for the pitcher to do their job. I feel like that's a whole separate conversation where we could probably do a whole podcast on, because I think you're onto something with that.
A couple things. Sam Blum of The Athletic wrote an article over the weekend about the torpedo bats. And one of the interesting things is they have actually been around since 2022. As early as 2022, they've been used. Giancarlo Stanton, I believe, used one for much of the season last year, which is crazy to think about because he's a guy who already hits the ball harder than anyone as it is. So he's been using these, and I think what's interesting about them is, Beau, as you mentioned, it was really heightened because of what happened with the Yankees over the weekend. But we need a greater sample size, which is why I'm fine with them using them now. Again, they are completely legal within the confines of what Major League Baseball allows in terms of their bat length and diameter and thickness of the barrel and all. It's all perfectly legal. I think it is entirely possible that Nestor Cortez needs to retire and the Brewers are just really bad. I think that might have also been where all this power came from, because there's guys who are using them on a daily basis that nothing is really changing much for. So it will be interesting to see how this does carry forward. Again, Anthony Volpe has been one of the main guys using it, and he's on a very hot start to the season. Cody Bellinger and Paul Goldschmidt get to New York, and now they're using it. But Aaron Judge is not. And looking at what the Dodgers may do with it, Max Muncy is kind of the perfect guy for this sort of bat, right? Because he has incredible plate discipline. He will strike out here and there. That's just who he is. But when he makes contact, he gets the ball hard. So if this can cause him to get a few extra hits in the season, maybe a couple extra home runs, that's a huge benefit. I wouldn't imagine guys like Shohei Ohtani and Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts using these because they're just going to do what they're accustomed to.
Yeah, Freddie said today he's been using the same bat for 16 years. He's not going to change now. So
yeah, which is exactly what Aaron Judge said about the reason why he's not using it. So I think these guys who are more established in the league, they're just going to do what they're doing, which is interesting to see somebody like Paul Goldschmidt use it, right? But he also kind of had his numbers dip the last couple of years. He's not exactly the same player he once was, but still an excellent hitter all around. So that's interesting to see. It's not shocking that Cody Bellinger would. He seems like the exact dude who would just jump on that the second it was being offered to him. So why not, you know? And also, again, you're playing in New York where right field is 330 feet away. So entirely possible that these power numbers, maybe 1 or 2 extra home runs from the bat, but maybe the Brewers are really, really bad, and especially Nestor Cortez, which, hey, thank you. Thank you, Nestor. Thank you.
He was
we
bad.
applaud you here.
He was bad for the Yankees at the end of the season. Like, let's be real. So, yeah, that shouldn't have been a surprise to anybody.
4 straight pitches for home runs going back to last season.
Yeah.
Wow, that's rude.
Yes. 4 for every run that scored on the first
he
home
didn't
run
pitch
that he
again in
gave
that
up.
series?
I don't think he did.
I don't remember.
I don't recall him ever taking
His
him out
psyche
again.
had to be so fractured.
Yeah. Why would you do it again? He hadn't pitched for weeks coming into that outing as it was. It was a crazy spot to put him into. He just went with the lefty-lefty thing, and then instantly Aaron was like, oh, that was a bad move. And then we never saw him again. So neither did the Yankees. So I'm sure they were very excited, though, to see him again in a Brewers uniform. They seemed to have a lot of fun with that. Yeah. But to that point, Beau, and we've talked about this for so long, there does need to be, on the flip side, something for the pitchers to help them, and that should be an approved sticky substance that would, it's not about spin rates and it's not about velocity, it's about keeping them safe, because having that substance with the amount of twist and torque that pitchers put into their arms in order to make their breaking stuff as effective as it is, they are ripping their arms out of their sockets. So to have an approved sticky substance that would prolong their careers, that would avoid some Tommy Johns here and there, that would be a nice payoff.
It was rather nice to hear, the thing we've been saying on this show for the entire time we've been doing it. It was nice to hear that on national radio from John Paul Morosi, basically, saying that these guys are doing unnatural things and being asked to do unnatural things. So of course their body's going to break.
Yeah.
And we can't give them any assistance in doing that, though. But hitters can do whatever they want.
Yeah. And those injuries have gotten worse because literally they're hitting the ball so much that there's desperation with these pitchers. Like, their careers are on the line for those guys that are trying to make a name for themselves. So it's like, of course, you're literally throwing your arm out of your socket with every pitch, versus before maybe it was like every couple pitches, I'm going to throw my arm out of its socket. Now I'm throwing my arm out of its socket. Just, that's it. Like, there's the only way I can try to something out. Like, it's crazy.
One last thought about the torpedo bats, and it was a thought I had earlier, because I'm trying to make sense of, like, it was such a simple change to the bats that why hasn't it been done before? And maybe, and I'm just thinking, and I would love to ask a player this, maybe it's because there's actually a simple way for pitchers to combat it, and that's by just throwing outside more, by forcing them to hit off of the end of the bat more, where the meat of the barrel is no longer there. Maybe that is an adjustment that we will see. I mean, obviously it's ideal to pitch outside in general because it's harder for hitters to get around on those pitches and drive them. But if you're then shifting the weight and the mass of the barrel even more closer to the hitter, then you wonder, okay, maybe you're inducing more weak contact by just staying off the plate even more. So, any last thoughts on the torpedo bats before we move on?
They need a new name. Stop calling them torpedo bats. Find something cooler.
What? Do you have a name? You can't just talk shit.
No, I don't.
And not have a name.
I don't. But
okay.
I'm tired of hearing the word torpedo. No more.
Torpedo. You want something like? I mean, torpedo does not sound like powerful, or like it doesn't make me think that. Like I agree. I'm with Beau, but I just wouldn't talk shit until I had a backup.
It makes them sound illegal, like, in the sense that it makes it sound like they're doing something to the bat that they're not allowed to do. But like J-Mac is the only other person I've Jason McIntyre referred to it as a bowling pin, and that just sounds lame.
That's worse.
You're swinging a
Yeah.
bowling pin out there. That sounds detrimental to the batter. So
Yeah.
It's
so-
it's just weird that batters get to have like a Call of Duty style loadout before every at bat.
oh yeah.
Like they get to pick their bat, they get to pick all their accessories, and pitchers are like, "All right, so you just got to go throw this ball. You
Yeah.
get no help whatsoever."
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about a pitcher that does need a little bit of help right now. And that is Roki Sasaki. So he's made 2 starts now in his young professional Major League Baseball career. And his second one didn't go too well. An inning and 2/3, walked 4, a couple runs. Once again, his control is a little off. And then during the game, there was also a clip that kind of went viral where he looks pretty emotional. I little bit watery eyed. Obviously, he's struggling right now, and this is perfectly normal. He's kind of pitching like a guy who has only made 2 major league starts. We got to be patient with him. And us as a fan base definitely have to be patient with him and get behind him. I think there's a lot to this conversation with Roki Sasaki because obviously the stuff is there and the talent is there. He just needs to rein in his control a bit. And judging based on the way that he was a bit emotional, it might be that he's a bit in his head and that's affecting his control a little bit. I think the big thing with Roki, and I'm sure they're telling him this, the big thing, if I were to say anything to him, is like, hey, man, you don't have any pressure. I know it feels like you do. You are a young star who is super hyped up, coming to the majors, and you're kind of expected to perform right away. I understand that. But also, you're on the Dodgers, who just won the World Series, who are winning despite these starts. They've won both of these starts that you've pitched in. You are not being asked to be the ace. You're not being asked to be the number 2. You're not being asked to be the number 3 even. You are low in that rotation. And also, you're not the only star from your home country on this team. Mm-hmm. I know you might feel like all of Japan is watching every move that you're making, and they probably are, but they've also got Shohei Ohtani. They've also got Yoshinobu Yamamoto. I understand where the name of the Dodgers and the brand and the bright lights and all that might affect you. But the reality is, especially right now, it just turned April. You do not have any pressure right now. So just go out there and do your thing, and the talent will come through and the production will be there. So that's how I feel about Roki. I think he's just a little bit in his head right now. And I say just kind of keep rolling, keep throwing him out there because quite frankly, he needs this experience and he's going to work through it. Monse?
Yeah, I only have 2 thoughts on Roki, honestly.
Okay, go ahead.
He's what, like 5,000 miles from home,
Right.
starting a new job. Like,
Yep.
yeah, I don't care if he's emotional about it. Like everybody would be. It's a huge change. It's a huge change for him. And it's also like he's used to going out there and dominating, right? So like it is different and it's an adjustment. The second thing is exactly what you just said. He's the 5th starter, 6th starter at best. That's how he should be thinking about it. Like the Dodgers need to tell him to just go out there and throw strikes. That's all you need to worry about. If you get shelled, big fucking deal. It doesn't matter. We don't care. We could probably withstand you getting shelled because the talent there is so pure. Like, but he just needs to throw strikes. That's all he's got to do. Like, I don't care if he gives up 5 runs in an inning. I really don't. Like, he's not the ace. He's not Kershaw, right? Where they're like on a 4-game losing streak and they need Kershaw to pick up the ball and throw a one game. Like, he doesn't need to do that. He just needs to throw strikes, and that's where it starts. But if anybody feigning concern for Roki is insane right now, and anybody like doing like laps on this is insane because every other franchise was practically begging him to sign with their team, and he didn't because he knows that eventually he's going to figure out it in LA and it's going to be beautiful. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I think you guys both hit all the points, and he's got to throw strikes because 50% maybe hitting strikes right now. Like that's not great. But again, a very small sample size. There's no reason to worry or to even think twice about this. And I actually feel that he puts the pressure on himself, not from the Dodger spotlight. I really do think it's the Japan spotlight. Like coming into the same team where Otani and Yamamoto are playing, I feel like he must feel so much pressure to deliver for his home country. It's like, I don't even think it's the Dodgers. I think it's Japan that he feels like he's letting down. Just the way he looks out there. It's like, not the same, but like Bronny playing in LeBron's footsteps, right? It's like you playing in Otani's footsteps. Like everyone is expecting you to not be like him, but to be pretty damn good because of the expectation that has come with it. And so, everything you guys said, right on the money. You've got to hit some strikes though, because last I looked, he was maybe at 50% hitting strikes over all of his pitches, which is not ideal. His control is a little bit whack, but there's no way he's not nervous. There's no way that he's not sitting there thinking, I have to perform. I have to perform. Everything you said is right. It's like, we don't need you to do it, but easier said than done in his young head, right? Like coming to the freaking Dodgers, to the team that just won the damn World Series. But at the same time, 6-0, best start since 1981. And like, you're fine. You're like, if they had lost those games, I'm sure it would be a million times worse, but we're 6-0. We're good.
Can you imagine a better pitching staff to have to work through issues with too? Like there was a video of him talking to Blake Snell yesterday or the other day. Like he can lean on Tyler Glasnow. He can lean on Clayton fucking Kershaw, like the greatest to ever do it.
Yeah.
He has two of his countrymen there. It's like he's fine. He looks like a rookie, which is what we said, which is what anybody with a brain said is he's a rookie. And that's why the Dodgers are the best spot for him, because he can just come here, be a 6 starter, or go down to Oklahoma City, and like there's no pressure on him to perform.
Right.
If he had signed in San Diego, like they would be looking at him as like at the very least their number 2 starter right now. If he had signed in Seattle, they're probably their number 1 starter.
Yeah.
Like anywhere else he goes, and they're asking him to be like a front of the line starter. But here in LA, he can work through it in the majors, and they can afford to have him do that. I think we mentioned it last time, Ryan. Like, I don't think people are ready for how lackadaisical the Dodgers are going to be in the regular season this year. Like, I really don't think they care beyond making the playoffs. Like that, and if that means Roki going out there and taking a loss every 6 days or 5 days, then so be it. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
I know. I was thinking, would him being sent down to the minors even help him in any way whatsoever? And I honestly don't think it would.
No.
Yeah.
Because one, he needs to be facing major league level talent in order to produce. And quite frankly, Oklahoma City's not a great place for starting pitchers to go to try to work through stuff. And if this is something that's kind of mental where he's getting in his head about it, I would imagine then sending him to Oklahoma City after moving across the country, across the world, to kind of restart his life and be a significant athlete, to then have to go to the minors instantly, that would do numbers on him emotionally. So and quite frankly, as you mentioned,
you missed
Beau,
that. Yeah, you missed with the dugout. Like you don't get that in Oklahoma City.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that he would be missing from his development if he were to go down to the minors right now. So I think he's just got to work through it. As you mentioned, Beau, he's got a luxury where he's in a staff where they can throw him out once a week. And if he gets shelled on occasion here and there, he's just got to work through it. Shohei Ohtani had some rough patches when he first came to the majors. You can find clips right now on Twitter of Shohei Ohtani also being emotional on the bench because it was tough for him when he first came over. And of course, Ohtani was doing even more than Sasaki was, but that's no different. It was still a gigantic transition period for him, and for that success to not hit right away was very frustrating. Yoshinobu Yamamoto had a horrendous first start with the Dodgers in Korea, and then those numbers hung over his head throughout his first couple months with the Dodgers. Even though he pitched well once he got back to America,
people didn't forget. They did not forget that outing.
Because his ERA was still sky high because of the one inning that just blew up in his face. So unfortunately, like, yeah, these are guys who have worked through these hardships early on in their careers, and hopefully Roki is leaning on them, and hopefully they're imparting their wisdom onto him. So yeah, I think overall it's just important to be patient with Roki, let him work through these. These are very, very normal growing pains. And yes, in terms of him being emotional on the bench, I doesn't phase me. It's fine. Like, there's a lot of guys express their emotion in different ways. If he was on the bench, taking a bat to the dugout phone, or if he's going into the hallway and
that wouldn't bother me either.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
that's probably what Jonathan Lucroy and Josh Reddick have done a handful of times in their life. But just because they're bigger and manlier, they can look down on Roki. Yeah, fuck that. Those guys fucking suck.
Did John Lucroy did he have the same thought about Big Papi destroying the bullpen phone in Boston's dugout? Which is, I mean, if you want to be serious, like, that's emotionally less mature than simply crying or welling up your tears.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, if you do anything that's potentially going to hurt somebody or hurt yourself, how many pitchers that we hear about, they go and punch a dugout table and they're on the injured list for a month. Like, that literally happened to Mason Miller last season. Like, it's fine. It is a gigantic transition point in his life that he's kind of working through a ton. He's still a very young guy. It's fine. He's going to be great. It's just, these are growing pains. It happens. It's fine for him to get emotional in his way. We don't know what he's going through. I'm not going to pretend like we know what he's going through. So just be patient, and Roki will persevere. I promise. Yep. I'm very, very confident in that.
Yeah.
Speaking of persevering through the struggles, Tanner Scott has not looked sharp in his first 2 outings as a Dodger. He blew a save the other night. He's given up runs here and there. Something that both him and Dave have mentioned in the last day is that Tanner Scott's velocity builds up later on in the season. I know it's kind of scary because the second you see a closer that you just gave a ton of money to blowing saves, you're like, oh, this is exactly why you don't pay closers. Why this is scary. But he's very talented, and he's worked through these sort of things before. And it's the same sort of thing with Roki, where he is in a group where there's a bunch of talent around him, and the team can work through it. So keep tossing him out there. His velocity will ramp up as we go through the season. And Beau and I had pondered this last time. It's probably the most difficult for veteran relievers to get ready for the season, because starters have a routine they go through in spring training. Position players have their routine where they're building up every day. Relievers, they kind of have a program, but mostly once the season starts, they're just being thrown into the fire and hoping that they're, ready for it. And some guys are, some guys aren't. So it's okay.
It's really early. It's really early to just freak out about anything. No reason. I'm not worried about Tanner Scott either. And I think you guys are both right. It's like he's getting in a groove now. Everyone else might be in their groove, like you just said, for all of the reasons of spring training. He's just getting started. It's so early. It's so freaking early. Same thing with like Freddie Freeman. You guys saw that he slipped in the shower.
That's what he said. Yeah.
And retweaked his ankle. That they said was not 100% from, the postseason. So it's like, it's early. It is early. If these little bumps and bruises are going to happen, let them happen. Slip now. Also, why does this always happen to baseball players? Like, I feel like I don't hear like a stupid injury story from like a football player.
Yeah, it's
or
because
like a basketball player.
They make it up to cover up something stupid the player did. But like in this case, I actually believe it. Like I totally believe Freddie Freeman slipped in the shower. What is Freddie Freeman going to be doing outside of like doing that? Like, he's not going to be out there playing basketball. Like, that's not what he does.
No. Play with his kids. But no, he absolutely slipped.
Yeah. The only thing I can imagine is like maybe he's cleaning up after his kids and he was kind of annoyed by something. So you pick up a toy and you try to like throw it away, but you trip over yourself. That's happened to plenty of dads before. So that would be the only situation where they slipped in the shower is a cover up, which if again, most likely is the case. Can we get Freddie one of those the walk-in showers with the door that's like, up to your knees, the little
Yes. Yeah. So you hold on to maybe.
whole bunch of handrails there.
Yeah.
And then get him a nice high quality. He can have jets coming from every direction on his wall. Have the full on overhead, and then just like a lot of padding. Let's put some padding in Freddie's shower, shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's fun. And yet the Dodgers are still winning. Speaking of like, okay, crazy sicknesses that also have happened to the Dodgers. Of course, Mookie Betts having his big issue, and all of us being like, why is he even playing? Let's just sit out the first couple of weeks while you're getting that muscle mass back. And then he proceeds to hit 2 home runs in a game, including the walk.
Yeah.
Okay. Kike Hernandez also has everything exiting his body for a couple days. He comes back into the lineup and hits a home run. Listen, I think the Dodgers are onto something. Hey, embrace the norovirus. And suddenly, maybe that's the true torpedo bat, is actually the norovirus.
See, that actually makes more sense. That name makes more sense. It was happening inside their stomach. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah, let's, you know what? We'll bring back sickest Dodger of the week, and it will be a co-winners, Mookie Betts and Kike Hernandez for being literally sick and then hitting home runs afterwards.
How funny is it that Kike is one of the best-selling jerseys, by the way?
You
see that?
They just love him.
It's wild.
He's a fan favorite.
Tell you what, listen on the broadcast. I think it's not long till Anthony Bonda is one of the top-selling jerseys too.
Absolutely. Jesus. On opening day,
Shohei gets the pop he does.
No, on opening day when they called out Anthony Bonda, wow, I was like, oh, ladies are into this one, aren't we? As I was also cheering, but it just was like an eruption that I wasn't expecting. No, he's quickly going up on the ranks for sure.
Good for him. All he wants to do is collect Pokemon cards too. Like this isn't his true passion. You guys see that where when they went to Japan and he got like a private tour of the Pokemon, I want to say factory or whatever it's called, the Pokemon headquarters. That's a better word. And he was like genuinely stoked on all of it and talked about how he's wanted to do that for his entire life, and he was so happy, and now the ladies love him too. So this is just a truly happy individual. He's he just cares about Pokemon though. Now he's got all the luck. Yeah, God, incredible. He's been on like 8 different teams. Like that's what's incredible.
That's crazy.
Anthony Bonda.
That's crazy.
He has bounced around the league like crazy. He wasn't able to really find roles with anyone. He was with the Rays for the most amount of time, which was like 2 years or so. But yeah, and the Dodgers picked him up off the scrap heap, and he's become a fan favorite out of the bullpen.
Wow,
and a champion. That's a way to go, Anthony.
Yeah.
But he's just trying to play Pokemon.
The Dodgers people tell you the Dodgers buy all their championships. How sad.
Yeah. Yeah. Had to drop $80 million a year on Anthony Bonda, I'm certain. All right. Well, Dustin May is going to have made his first start by the time you're listening to this. So hopefully that went great. Very excited about the return.
Could be good, could be bad.
Yeah. He looked great in the spring. But yes, of course, with Dustin, there is the perpetual fear that at any given moment he's going to fall apart.
And it's not an ideal situation where like the Braves haven't won a game yet. So they're going to come out with like a little bit of desperation to get that win, because they don't want to go 0-7. I think they're 0-6, right? I think they've had 6 games already.
0-5.
0-5. So obviously they're trying to not make it 0-6, and then since it's not an ideal situation for him, not that he's gonna not do well. I just feel like, you're coming out to a team that's definitely gonna try and kick your ass.
Yeah. Yeah. And with Chris Sale on the mound too.
Sale,
with Chris Sale.
Yeah. So
yeah. And if the Dodgers win, I think that'll be their best start ever. I think right now the 6-0 is tied, and then if they get 7-0, it'll be like the best start ever.
Yeah.
So
overall, just watching this team is so much fun right now. Like, it's crazy. It is that first weekend was a blast, and watching even Mookie's walk-off game where Tanner Scott blows the save, but there was never any point once the Dodgers are down, you're like, oh well, they're just gonna come back. Like, it is an insane level of confidence to have in this team. But like, and that's what it's exactly what happened, of course. And watching that game as well, I think I want to say credit to the fans, but also it feels so obvious. Like, watching the fans react to especially that first series, this fan base is so excited and they're having so much fun. It looked like a playoff game. Like, everybody was on their feet at the end of that game. Everyone was super into it. Mookie was super stoked after his home run. And it actually felt like a playoff atmosphere, which to do that in March is insane. Everybody is just so incredibly hyped on this team, and the team is delivering, and it feels effortless. And we get to celebrate that all season, and hopefully then follow it up with another championship. Whew. Oh.
Yeah, like obviously the expectations are high, and they're already delivering. And I know it's a long season. There's gonna be some slumps. There has to be. If there isn't, I would be a little bit, surprised, and I'd be like, what are we injecting these guys with? Because there's got to be a slump at some point. But coming out like this is just, it's exciting, and it's just the way baseball wants it. The Dodgers and the Yankees coming out to hot starts, it's exactly what baseball needs. Like, there's no better way to start the season, not just the Dodgers, but the Yankees too. And if you look at our, like, the whole thing, like the whole thing about hitting, like, if you look at our lineup from top to bottom, anyone can hit the ball at any given time. Yeah. Like, it is a good time to be a Dodgers fan.
Yeah.
It is a good time. Oh, like, if you're not a fan, come on. Like, we'll take you need a team, join us. It's real fun.
Yeah. Oh, that's a blast. Monse, you were working the pregame at opening day. And so do you feel that atmosphere? Obviously it's opening day, so it's going to have that sort of atmosphere, but just in general, is that the feeling you're getting?
So somebody said to me, I can't remember who, because I ended up going to work at Fox Sports Radio after, but that the vibe was like, oh, it wasn't as crazy as other opening days. I was like, that's not true at all. I had never been asked to park at the bottom of the hill of Dodger Stadium. I usually park inside. I've got pretty good parking. I had to park just at the bottom because it was so busy so early. Like, people think that they're open seats, and it's like, I think the fans are just walking around. They like to be in the, like, center field plaza area. Like, it's like, you guys, sometimes the sun is brutal if you are on the right side. It's brutal. So, like, it was nuts. The vibe was crazy, but fun and exciting. And, like, it definitely, like, nobody was mad that the first game happened in Tokyo. You know what I mean? It was still an opening day feel. And it was busy from top to bottom, and it was a good time. And it's only the beginning. Tomorrow, also, when this is airing, Wednesday, it's going to be Ohtani, the first of 4 bobbleheads for Ohtani. I think, like, I thought it was only 2, and then I heard there's like 3 or 4, and then a ring, and then this, and I was like, you guys, like, I mean, I guess give the fans what they want, give the people what they want, which is Ohtani. So I will also be working for this Ohtani madness that is the first bobblehead of the season. So very
Godspeed.
You just gotta like know it's gonna be madness, and then once you accept that, Roki Sasaki accepts that it's just like madness and there's no pressure, he's gonna be fine. So that's how I walk in. I'm like, it's gonna be madness, but there's no pressure on me. I can't do anything about what's gonna happen. So I'm just going in for the ride. So they're just like Roki should be. Just go along for the ride, man. You're gonna be fine.
Yeah, absolutely. Beau, any final thoughts? You wanna?
No, head's empty. I mean, really, like, I think people should probably appreciate this team already. I'm very interested to see like where this goes. Like, there's a real chance that like by the end of the year, this is the greatest Dodgers team we've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And I already think we have 2 of the like 5 that we've seen personally in 17 and last year.
Mhm.
So like, there's a chance that like this team though, like it's insane, but you know, like we said last time, barring injury is so lame or whatever. Like, I hate to say barring injury because you never know what's going to happen, but like, it's feasible that this team could be like 2020 and just not lose a series.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can sit there with a straight face and tell me you would pick another team to beat them 2 out of 3 times or 3 out of 4 times through a series all year. Like, I don't think so. I don't know. I wouldn't bet on that. Like, that would be insane.
Mhm.
Like, I've been very cautious about the win record, but like, just based on what we've seen over the past week, like 116, that's it. Like, I know that's insane to say, but like, why not?
Why not?
Like, why not? Why not?
Yeah. Seriously. Well, we're going to be along for the whole ride. This is the Sick Podcast, the Dodger Zone. Be sure to like and subscribe. Follow us on YouTube. You can follow the podcast and audio only on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. My name's Ryan Bershinger. She is Monse Bolaños. He is Beau Benson. Until next time, domo arigato, everyone. Thank you very much.
Ciao.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast, The Dodger Zone, on YouTube, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.